The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
I think you might be muted, Joseph.
There we go. That was fun. Took a while to lag in there. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Greetings, Los Angeles. This is episode 179 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. As you see today, we have Christine, the champ snacker, Kwan, and Benjamin Verhin back from watching the amazing preseason matches that we've had. Here it is, guys. Practice is over. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good, Joseph. Thank you again for the invite on the show. Really excited to, get talking some LAFC football and excited for the season to get started this weekend.
Right. It's been longer than we expected. It felt longer than that. Even though we know the turnaround really isn't that long, it's felt that long. Yeah. Christine, how are you doing?
I'm hungry. So as usual, I'm going to be eating during the pod. So I'll try to. I rewatched that one episode where I ate an entire large pepperoni pizza during the episode, and I was like, wow, this is very
dinner and a podcast. Dinner and a podcast.
I'm gonna eat like more ladylike this time around.
Dude, it's all good. I know there's several out doing the same thing. That's what the faithful do. So all is well. All is well. Let's see. Let's get into what we're going on. So as we said, we did have the preseason finale against New England. So I was going to throw it to you guys to kind of break down what happened, because it was telling. There was a lot of interesting developments that will definitely affect what's going to happen on opening day. And so we'll get into it. So, Christine, I'm going to hand it over to you. What changes did we see in the lineup for this final preseason match?
So only two changes from the previous preseason match against New England Revolution, and that was in goal. So Vermeer replaced Cisniega, and Kay replaces Sifu in midfield.
So we have a little bit of lag there from Christine.
Blackman.
There she goes.
I'm sorry. What was the last thing I said?
I think we said Blackman was the last thing we heard before that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so in the middle we have Blessing, Atuesta, and Kay, and then up top we've got Rossi, Vela, and Baird.
Rossi, Vela, Baird. The Baird combo. I think it's kind of hard to think that that's not going to be it for opening day at this point. Seems pretty settled. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them start the two preseason matches. They look pretty good up top together. It feels like, they've been playing for a while. They have good chemistry, and it's only been, 2 months since they've been training together. So, yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory that they're going to start opening day.
Cool. Christine, looks like your mic is having some issues there.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Hey, okay. There it is. It's working now. So we might have lost you in the opening parts of this thing. So, hey, welcome to the live podcast. It gets a little funky, right? So we mentioned the lineup. So Christine, what were the big changes to this one? The differences for this one? Because I think some.
Yeah. Can you get me? Okay, just stop me if I cut out. But I think the big question has always been who's going to be the consistent keeper, the consistent starting keeper, and it seems like it's still up in the air. And we all just want one keeper to really come through, and above all else, show consistency.
Agreed. Consistency is key.
Two pretty different, right? And Vermeer and Cisniega are two pretty different keepers. Vermeer is, in terms of history as well, Vermeer is very seasoned. Cisniega is quite young, and he's had sort of an interesting rise. But in terms of actual professional experience, definitely not as much as Vermeer. And also, I think that'll be interesting to see who comes through these next few games, the next few early games, who can really show that they're going to make the right decisions, going to be confident on the ball, and going to be the keeper that we can confidently start for regular games and also for the big games.
Exactly. We have to be able to count on them through the big tough times, not just a preseason match. So essential. So lineups in place. Ben, how did things break down match-wise? What were the big highlights of the day, and what really stood out to you?
So it was a really bad start for LAFC, similar to how they started the second half in the first game against New England. They were already down 2-0 within the first 10 minutes. Couple of really bad defensive mistakes one by Segura, who couldn't control the ball right and made a really bad pass. They stole the ball, and then New England was 1-on-1 against Vermeer, and they just slaughtered it past him. And then Vermeer, a few minutes after that, his distribution, not good in this one. He pretty much gifted New England a throw-in, and then the goal derived from that throw-in, off a kick from the 18-yard box. So yeah, really bad start for LAFC. But the good thing is that they responded quickly, like within the first 5 minutes. Rossi got a goal off assist from Corey Baird. So yeah, that was good to see that the team responds quickly when they're down. But we don't want to see them down to begin with. But if that does happen, it's good to see that they respond quickly. Go ahead.
No, the resilience is good, but it's always better to start on the right foot. And
exactly.
The last two games we've seen a really bad first half start and a really bad second half start. So that's scary, really scary, because in league play you don't make these comebacks. It doesn't work that way.
Definitely want to avoid that in future. Against better teams, that's not going to work out. But yeah, good thing for LAFC is they started to create some good football. They started to get things going after 15-20 minutes, created some good chances. Atuesta was playing really well in the first half. He's really improving more than he already is. He's a great player. Corey Baird had a few shots on goal, not on target, but they went right to the goalkeeper. But still, it's good to see him active up top with Vela and Rossi. And Blessing had a great game defensively. He's really good with the press. He recovers the ball for us really quickly. His passing lacks at times, but defensively, he's an engine. He never stops running.
That's, I think, where we're seeing it lean. Early stages, I'm thinking Latif probably gets a start over who we think might get the start in the midfield. Probably, I'll be honest, because who we're going to play, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I think it's speed and counters. That's the name of the game for day one. So see a lineup based on that more than a possession-based game, because you'll see, guys, it's going to be a bit of a foot race match. What do you think, Ben? Do you think that might be more of the case?
Yeah, I think as of right now, Blessing is really coming into his own right now. Bob mentioned in the press conference that he had a really good preseason. So yeah, I think him and Atuesta are the two locked-in starters in the midfield. It's that third piece that's missing. Mm-hmm. It's a toss-up between Kay and Cifuentes right now. I think, in my opinion, Cifuentes should get the nod just because he's been with the team since day one of this preseason. Kay's been in and out with international, with Canada, so I feel like he's getting slowly back into training. But yeah, as of right now, the midfield, I see Atuesta, Blessing, and Sifu as my three midfielders. What do you guys think?
I would want to see that, be dead honest. But if I'm going to put money on it, I just don't see Bob going without Kay. He's his trusted guy. It's hard to see him go without him, even though, to be fair, it probably shouldn't be, since he hasn't been able to be there for the whole setup.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going on into the second half, again, really bad distribution from Vermeer. Kay actually lost the ball a couple times in the midfield too easily for me. And in the 57th minute, LAFC actually get a goal back. They tied up the game 2-2. It was off a set piece. I believe sorry, that was the third goal. The second goal was a counter attack from Rossi to Vela, and Vela pretty much had a defender like on his back the whole time for like 10 yards, and he got the ball in the back of the net, thankfully. But again, 2 minutes later, LAFC are back down on the scoreboard because off a goal kick from New England, Palacios, who was actually had 2 goals scored on his side in the first game, again is out of position in this one. So Segura is forced to foul a New England Revolution player in the box, and they get a penalty kick and the 3-2 scoreline. And then weirdly enough, like right after that goal, Vermeer gets subbed out for Cisniega in the 60th minute. I don't know if it was coincidence that that happened to be right after that goal, or if it was already like premeditated. But that was kind of interesting to me that it turned out that way.
I gotta say, even in a preseason match, a 60th minute substitution for a goalkeeper is not remotely typical.
Right.
You can't figure that on being a typical move, right? I mean, Christine, would you see that as a typical move to throw a keeper out there? Little bit of technical difficulties for Christine right now. Not a worry there. We'll get her back. Oh, you made it? You're back in?
I guess so. I've been kind of talking to myself and not knowing if you guys can hear me. But it's preseason, so anything goes during preseason. I think it's the time to experiment also.
True.
Yeah, so
True. So
they don't want us watching these games. About the whole K and Sifu situation, I think that piece is so important. That might be one of the most important decisions in terms of roster decisions going into the beginning of the season in my mind, because then and defense is just got so much depth now, and really deciding which one of these defenders, really strong defenders, do we want to start. So that midfield is so important in terms of creating the tone, in terms of connecting the flow of the play. And like you guys with consistency, depending on how he's feeling, depending on his mentality. So I'd be really interested to see how Bob goes with that starting lineup.
Yeah, it's tough questions. Backline, of course, we have the Blackman versus Moon situation. I don't think it is one though. I mean, do you guys think it's pretty much a Blackman run to start?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Blackman's job until he. Otherwise, I mean, he's pretty much been here since, again, like an original. He's been here since day one. He knows the system. Kim Moon-hwa, is just starting to adapt to a new league, a new country, and new everything for him. So I think it's going to take some time for him. But as of right now, I think Blackman is the guy until he loses his job. Yeah, pretty much.
And of course, now the developing situation is Palacios. Could Farfan be in the wings to replace him if he can't get it straight?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, Palacios, he's been good offensively, but defensively, he's had some lapses where he's out of position or he's caught up the field. So I would definitely keep an eye on Farfan, stealing some minutes from Palacios in the not so far future.
There we are. So we see the potential there. Now, that being said, we did get a chance also this past weekend to see our other players play. Not for the black and gold per se, but for the neon of the Las Vegas Lights. And Ben, you had a chance to see the first 30 minutes of the match. And Christine, you were telling me, what was the setup for this match?
So from what I can gather,
we're getting some technical difficulties with Christine here.
Oh man. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, so from what I can gather, they played 3 30-minute halves versus Cal United strikers. And it sounds like they played a majority LAFC lineup in the first 30, which probably looked Lights. So sort of like the second team or the second string on the first team, essentially. So they played that for the first 2 30-minute halves, and then I believe they put in the Las Vegas lineup for the last 30 minutes. So that's what I've heard kind of through the grapevine and through various like players and people connected with those teams. Observe.
All right, so we're still getting a little bit of technical difficulties for Christine right now. Hopefully we can hear you for this next one. What were the names that we got to see for the lights representing us for that first 30 minutes?
Yeah. Can you guys hear?
Yeah, looks like we're getting a little more breakup. Okay.
Okay.
I'll read out the lineup for now. Basically, where we're at was we had Romero in goal, Quesada as right back, Leone and Harvey in the center. We had Farfan at left back. Midfield were Janela, Cifuentes, and Duenas. Forwards were Bryce Duke. We had Masovsky, the Moose, and Opoku. So that was our lineup for the lights for the first 30-minute period, which thankfully Ben was there to see it. Ben, what were your observations from that 30 minutes in?
Yeah, so a couple players impressed me. One of them was Quesada, the right back. He has a really good, lots of energy, presses really well up the field. You could tell he really, really wants a spot, whether it be in the LAFC roster or the Las Vegas Lights roster. And, Bob was actually coaching from the sidelines for this one. So, yeah, he was really pumping him up, telling him, good job, Alvaro, good job. So I like seeing that from our young guy. Musovsky, much better in this game than the last one. He scored a goal, really great goal outside the box. And Cifuentes, Ginella, Farfan, getting some extra minutes with the second team from LAFC. So that was good to see them get extra minutes. Duenas, again, impressive in the midfield. I can't wait for his future. He's going to be really good for us in the next 2-3 years. Super excited for him. Opoku making some really great runs. Duke was actually playing on the left wing. It was interesting to see that. He usually playing in the midfield. So, yeah, he did pretty good. He was very, very active. And that's pretty much all I gathered from the first 30 minutes that I was there.
And system-wise, it was pretty much a clone of what the first team was doing, right?
Correct. Yeah, typical 4-3-3 for Bob. Yeah.
Perfect. So exactly where we need to be then. Anybody on that lineup that you saw might challenge to even get there for opening day?
Just Farfan maybe. Getting some minutes in the second half for Cheeky. Maybe Ginella, depending on how the game goes. If we need some subs in the second half. Yeah, maybe Musovsky.
And Cifuentes, right? I mean, he'd be the natural.
Of course. Right.
Yeah, Musovsky, he scored in both matches now.
Yeah, he did. Right? He did score in both matches. Yeah, it's good to see him get some goals. It's definitely builds his confidence moving forward. It's heading into the opener. So yeah, it's between him, Corey Baird, and maybe Opoku who are in line for that second spot up top. But who do you think Bob would be? Bob's first choice would be, let's say, if LAFC is down a goal or 2 goals against Austin, who do you think would be his first choice off the bench?
I think it depends on the situation. If our wingers and striker are doing what they need to do, he's not going to move them off. Musovsky might be an option, or Opoku, depending on the rush, But unless they're really laboring on the day, he's going to keep them as long as he can. The battle will be midfield. And I think if K can't dictate or be efficient with his passing, doesn't track back the way he should, even Latif not tracking back the way they should in recovery, then I could definitely see Cifuentes and Janela going in there to unseat. And, I mean, he could get even more bold if we have a decent lead. Maybe Duenas gets the dress on the day and we might see him for a few minutes. Because if you got a good lead, you put the kids in, right? You get them experience.
Yeah.
It depends on the situational mindset. Figuring out who's going to be the 8, it's easy to figure out the 11, 12, 13. It's next to impossible to figure out who the number 18 will be, right? Who's the top 18 for this match? Yeah, it's hard to tell. It really is, because we are pretty darn deep here.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just that for me, the positions up in the air is obviously the goalkeeper. We don't know who's going to start in goal, whether it be Pablo or Vermeer. I think they both have good qualities. Both are still lacking in their distribution with their feet. I feel like Pablo is a little bit better just based off the two first preseason matches. And like we mentioned earlier, Blackman right back. I don't even think Kim Woon-hwan dressed for this last preseason match, so maybe it could be more serious than we thought. His injury, we don't know how far he is in his recovery.
Right, the knee's not 100%, is it?
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, seeing that we have a goalkeeper situation, because honestly, I'll say that we're 2 matches in, we're seeing stuff we don't like. We have this other kid out there, Romero, who played that 30 minutes against Cal FC. What were your observations from his play in the little time that you got to see?
Well, he didn't have too much, work to do, but from what I saw, he seemed calm, collected. I did observe him closely in his pregame warmups, and he looks pretty good at it with his feet. He's a good shot stopper. He's good size. But yeah, nothing like stuck out to me in this match. It was just 30 minutes that I saw. He wasn't really tested that much. So
The distribution was strong.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
no errors, obviously, right?
No.
Yeah. So I would honestly, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if one of our guys is really struggling, that a wake-up call comes out and Romero dresses for one of these matches. Like, I don't put that past Bob at all. Send one to Vegas, let him stew, bring the kid in. He is our future. I don't doubt that for a second, knowing how he's played, where he's won, what he's done. He's definitely on that list to be one, just like Duenas, to kind of get in there, and it's just a matter of time. Romero to me is that guy. He's not going to be in a situation like Ejimadu where, well, it's a prospect, it's okay. No, we paid a lot of money for Romero. He's going to be one that we want to turn out. Did you see Jennings get anything going?
No, I know he played in the third half for Las Vegas, but I didn't see him on the field when I was there, but I know he did play 30 minutes for Las Vegas. I pretty much think he's going to be playing in the USL because he has experience in that league anyway, so they're probably going to use him for that.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Again, we're really deep, and if we have injuries, then yeah, I could see him coming up, but it makes sense. And Duke looks like he's close enough where he'd probably beating for a spot on the reserve wing position, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So there we are. We see our trusted group. We see what's developing. So before we get into the pregame, I'm like, we're waiting for Austin. I'll throw some news out. We're going to share some news, and then we'll break down Austin because I decided to take a fun little deep dive into the expansion side because why the heck not, right? Interesting news to come out. First, we have LAFC and Estrella TV doubling down on their agreement. So Spanish broadcast will definitely be back on Estrella TV. They've actually upgraded their sponsorship of LAFC to the Golden Boot Club. That's nice. And their first match that they're going to get to show will be Colorado Rapids on May 22nd. You're like, why so long down the line? Well, probably because we keep getting national TV matches, guys. That's the biggest reason is local broadcasts. Well, again, we haven't heard about an English one yet, but mostly seem to gain a lot of national audience matches. So that's where that sticks. Beyond that, we did see... yeah, just some more news come out. There's a new beer sponsor apparently that dropped today. So that's something we need to look at. I guess Party Beer or something like that. It was a weird name. But it's a local brewery off of Jefferson. Yeah. So they're in. I guess their owners are season ticket holders as well. So I guess that makes perfect sense. And they have LAFC centric beers on tap already. So go check them out. Check out the brewery. Go get some beer. I know we can't tailgate in Christmas Tree Lane, but nothing saying you can't have a beer ahead of time or afterward. Just go hang out at the brewery after the game, but they're there, guys. So definitely jump on that. With that little bit of news, I think let's get into this thing. We've got a huge match this weekend. Why wait? And everybody that's commenting right now, we definitely see your comments, questions. I'm going to throw it to you guys in a few cases. Like in this case, who's your starter for goalkeeper? Throw that my way. We'll answer it towards the end of the show. And any other questions, comments, throw them out there because tail end of the show, we're going to fire away and talk about things. And I see people talking about tickets. We'll lightly touch on that because honestly, I could spend 90 minutes talking about that. We're not going to do that. We'll talk a little bit, know what we know, share what we share, grieve because all of us aren't where we think we need to be either. Trust me on this. It's not cool. And I actually have seen what the cap was, just got that information. So we'll share that as well. But that's down the line. I'd rather focus on the football anyways. So let's do that first. Ben, Arch, are you excited about this weekend?
Super excited. It's been so long since we've had a game at the Banc, especially with fans now. And yeah, it's super exciting to have a new expansion team again, like Miami was last year. And Austin, they look okay in preseason. They have a really good foundation with their DPs. They're like in their peak of their prime. They're not like young kids. They're not old. They're like right in their 25, 26-year-old range. So really, really excited to see what Austin is going to bring to the league. What are your thoughts on that?
Very excited to see what Austin's going to bring to the league. One thing is their form. Now, you got a chance to really do a deep dive on how they've been playing leading up to this. How has their preseason been going?
So yeah, their preseason, they participated in a small mini preseason tournament. It's called La Copita. It was basically just teams from Texas. They won one, they tied one, and they lost one. Their first match, they believe they lost to Houston. Second match, they tied to Dallas, and the last one they won 5-1 against USL side San Antonio. So they ended on a high note. So they've definitely been progressing. As we go from less to more. They're a team that likes to play out of the back. That's for sure. But they also like to take risks. So they really don't mind if they make turnovers in their own half. As long as they get it down to what the coach wants them to do, they're going to keep doing it. So that's good for us because we like to press up the field, and if they're going to play out of the back, we might see a goal fest on Saturday. So we'll see what happens. A lot of their guys are also playing a full 90 minutes, so that's good for them. And in the 3 games they played in preseason, they scored 10 goals, which is a lot for 3 games, but they also allowed 7. So again, we could have a lot of fun on Saturday, with LAFC also having a big offensive power in attack. So excited, super excited.
That does sound eerily familiar to another team that we're all familiar with, right? Score goals, allow goals, freak out about our goalkeeper situation. Like, what's up with the defense? You need to lock it in, but hey, we'll trade goals and we'll get more than you.
Yeah.
Kind of similar. So yeah, from what I saw from the preseason form, yes, they score a lot, they allow a lot, they play open play. Yeah, guys, if you are used to the LAFC system, guess what? Look in the mirror and you're looking at Austin. That I will say it that way. They're playing a 4-3-3, guys. There's no shock to what their system is. Josh Wolf is doing what we do. He is, if you thought they were cloning us in the stadium and the supporter vibe and trying to get the same thing, guess what? They're also cloning our system of play. There is no question about that. They will be doing a very similar thing, except from what I see, their central midfield sits a little bit deeper in most cases, and the outside mids sit higher, which is a little crazy. But that's the little bit that I've seen. But it's still a 4-3-3. It's going to drop similar. You're going to see the wings drop back as necessary. That's what I've seen. A lot of skill on this team. The guys they brought in are legit, and I'll cover them right now too. They are dangerous. They will burn us. If we're not getting it together in the first 5 minutes, I guarantee you this team will damage you. So that is what we can get used to. Now, in terms of their starting 11 and predictions for that, from what I've seen from the Austin fans and heard from those guys, their top line is looking like it's going to be Cecilio Dominguez, Danny Houston, and Rodney Redes. Ben, what do you have on these 3? Anything that you'd want to throw out there?
Yeah, so Dominguez actually scored 3 goals. He in the preseason, he was actually like the highest goal scorer. Hosen, he played with San Jose like in the past 2 years. So he's been around the league a couple seasons. He has experience. And Redes, I believe he's a young Paraguayan, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's like 20, 21 years old.
He's a rook, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't have much info on him, but I know he did score a goal in the preseason. So Yeah, I mean, looks good. Looks good for Austin up top.
Well, I think 8 of the 11 potentially in the starting lineup have like 0 MLS experience outside of this preseason. It's pretty high up there. So you're going to see their experience in other leagues. They have a ton of talent, but not in MLS. So it's going to be a little weird vibe with that they're really going to have to get it together. But they did play 5 preseason matches, so they've done as much as they can to get familiarized with each other. The midfield is even more interesting and probably the player that I'm most excited to see this season. I'll say that right now. We have Tomas Pochettino, Alex Ring, and Danny Pereira. I got to say, Tomas Pochettino, to me, I cannot wait to see what this guy has to offer this league. He was on a high playing in Argentina, really moving up, and now he's here. And Ben, tell him what he did in these preseason matches because it's pretty cool.
He scored actually 2 free kick goals already in this preseason. You know, his confidence is through the roof right now. You know, he's really motivated to play against LAFC. Advice for LAFC: do not give any fouls outside the box because this guy will burn you on free kick. So, yeah,
dude, if there's spider webs in the post and the little corners there, the cobwebs will be knocked off. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That one where it was curving upper corner with insane pace, like no one's stopping that.
Yeah.
No, it's silly how well he can hit those things. So, yeah, if we're sloppy guys, he will burn us. I guarantee you. He's more of a box to box with overload of skill. So, yeah, he can hit him from there too. So. You have a weapon, a real good weapon. I think right now, in the little bit that I've seen, it's probably a little higher than we expected from him right now. He's kind of, even if it's preseason, he's already looking like he's developing in. So that'll be good. Of course, Alex Ring, Ben, we know right away this kid's on the up and up still, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he played with NYCFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he has a lot of experience in MLS, correct? I mean, he's been here for few years.
Even though he's younger, he's a legit starter. He will anchor them. He will control things as well. He knows how to get back, track back. He can jump into D if he needs to. He's very versatile as a player. Honestly, he was a killer move for them. It's, that I think he's going to do great this year. For the most part, they're going to do great this year. I do. I think this is one of those teams that's going to challenge for a playoff spot. And I'll keep going through the names to tell you why, guys. So Danny Pereira on the outside is a young kid. He's slated to be the starter, but I'll tell you that it might not be the case because they also have Diego Fagundes from New England, right? And he's more experienced than Pereira, but Pereira is going to be getting the better minutes in preseason. So they have a battle there for that position. We'll see how that plays itself out, but it's sounding like Pereira kind of stole the job. Ben, did you get any impressions off of him, or is this, again, a youngster that we're not knowing a whole lot about?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't know too much about Pereira. I know, like, the backline, you're probably going to get into this next with Matt Bessler. You know, he's the one with the experience with the MLS Cup with Kansas City, I believe. So yeah, he's definitely the rock in the backline for sure.
Yeah, and so we'll move on to that. So we have Ben Sweat on the left, veteran. Nick Lima on the right, veteran. Matt Bessler in the middle, and then the battle is who's going to be the right center back. Rumors are that Johan Romania, yes, unheralded, has kind of taken that job. Now everybody's like, wait a minute, didn't you guys sign Julio Cascante to do that job? They did, but in preseason, as good as Cascante is, and he might still get there, Romania seems to be the guy that's catching the eye of Josh Wolf. So we're not sure who's going to be in that role, but don't be surprised if the kid takes it. It's a pretty cool situation for them right now.
Well, what do you think the starting goalkeeper is going to be for them against us?
So apparently, from what I was reading, they haven't given the numbers out yet to the goalkeepers because they weren't sure who the starter was going to be.
Interesting.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
So this is where it's looking to be. I think it's going to be Andrew Tarbell because he has the experience. But they're saying that Brad Stuver has also shown better performances in preseason than Tarbell, but he doesn't have the same experience. Sounds like a Cisnega Vermeer kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not that they've been playing bad, but that Tarbell's been in matches where they've been kind of peppered, or not Tarbell, but Stuver's been peppered a bit and shown he can resist it. So
Okay.
we don't know who their number one is. Maybe tonight that'll get revealed. But if I'm going to put my money down, it's going to be Tarbell. I'll be honest. Ben, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I believe Tarbell too, just based off experience. Don't know too much about Stuver, but I know they split the minutes in preseason. I know they each play like the same amount of minutes, but I'm gonna go with Tarbell as well.
Yeah, that's my vibe as well. So that's the starting 11 that we're thinking we're gonna get. I did hear that Redis might not be 100%. There's a chance he might not be. If he isn't good to go for opening day, look at either John Gallagher or Jared Stroud to take that position. If that happens to them, I'll be honest, guys, it's gonna kill them. That's a huge drop. It is. They'd be better off if he's healthy to be there, but that's what I'm hearing. And those are really where they're at. So you hear the names. There's not a whole lot of reserves, but they do have actually a decent core of players, stronger than most expansion sides. So substitutions, I wouldn't worry too much, but in that wing position, it's so important for them, especially since that's going to be Palacios marking Redis.
Right.
They want Redis out there for the competition. Dominguez is going to be tough for Blackman and Murillo, that's for sure. That's a challenge, and we'll see. Latif's going to be challenged. He's going to have to drop back to handle this. What I do see from the way the system is built, it's going to be a foot race from between both sides, and it could get a little bit wild. Yep. So get ready for fireworks, guys. I think we're going to have some this game.
Yeah, super excited to see that, Joseph. I mean, I'm just ready to get going. Super excited, just ready for the game to get started.
Without a doubt. Now it's looking like Christina's gotten back on, so I'm going to add her in because she actually did a little bit of a dive, a little bit into Josh Wolf, and we want to see if we can get her back on. So here we go. Christine, welcome back.
Hello.
Sorry to have all this madness hitting you today. It's so odd, but let's hope and pray we're here now.
I exclusively have internet problems, like always right when I'm about to start a Zoom call. But it's Spectrum's fault. They have a monopoly on this whole situation, and
not here too.
I'm just like, yeah. So I apologize to you guys and the viewers. But I was actually listening to most of what you guys said, and yeah, I concur. And in terms of what Josh Wolf is going to do, like he's going to come at it. He's going to come for us. And we're going to come at him. So I think it's going to be a very active, very offensive-minded game. And there seem to be a high-scoring team, as we are. Mm-hmm. I think that he wants his whole squad to be offensive-minded, and he wants his whole squad to be able to dribble out of pressure, attack, be technical, not play safe. So, kind of echoing what you guys you guys said, we're going to have a battle, and we're going to have our hands full as well with those offensive players in their midfield as well. So super excited.
So if you're going to identify strengths and weaknesses for Austin, where would you look first for strengths, Christine?
Probably, like you said, Pochettino and Dominguez, and then Ring, he's somewhere between the veteran, but he's also still young enough, sort of like in the peak of his career. And also they're a new franchise. They have nothing to lose and everything to gain to come to our home and show us what they have. So they're expected to lose, but they're going to give it all that they have. And I think that they've built the club in such a way that is very much a carbon copy of LAFC in terms of, its culture and also, its style of play and even its connection between our two head coaches. So, yeah, I think
even celebrities, right?
Yeah, exactly. Definitely, like their marketing, the hype that's being built around it. I saw somebody today on the street with an Austin FC zip-up hoodie, and I was gonna stop him, but then I was like, wait, we're in COVID times. I can't walk up to a stranger and be like, why are you wearing that? But yeah, so
I'm good with it. It feels like us in the early stages. It does,
right.
and I can't help but have that Seattle opening day vibe with a team nobody knows much about except you see the talent there. I
Mhm.
do feel like we're at risk, just like Seattle was when they played us in our inaugural match. It's real,
Yeah.
guys. This is a real threat. You're like, nah, it's
Mhm.
just an expansion team. We see the holes. Yeah, I do too, but they see our
Mhm.
holes too. And they, again, are going to be on this crazy high. Yes, their fans won't be here, but don't be surprised if a couple sneak in. I know. But yeah, this one's dangerous. So I'll stay it to you, Ben. Prediction. I know you hate doing predictions, but if you're gonna predict it, if you want to give me the score, at least tell me how you think the game's gonna play out.
I think it's going to be a shootout, to be honest. I think a high scoring game. I think both teams are going to want to, take initiative on the game. I feel like LAFC should control at least the first 10, 15 minutes. I feel like Austin might maybe sit back and just kind of feel the game out. And then once they do that, then they'll go, full force forward. But once both teams, are, heated and get going, I feel it's going to be a shootout, and whoever scores the most goals wins.
Have
Simple as that.
you ever seen a 4-3-3 sitting back?
No.
No, never. It's not built for that. If you are sitting back, you're getting shelled. So,
Mhm.
Christine, how about Ben? Before I even go to Christine, total goals for the match, not who's going to score them. Total goals.
5.
Ooh.
5. He's in my range, but
Oh
I might
wow.
be a little higher than you. Christine,
I'm gonna go with 7.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, dude, it's gonna be 6 or 7. Get ready. It's gonna be 6 or 7. Not saying we're gonna win 7-0. No, I'm saying they're gonna maybe tack 2 on us.
Mhm.
Maybe they
Mhm.
have potential for 2 to 3. So
Mhm.
6 to 7, I think, is not crazy to say. Which wild, right, guys? Different.
Yeah. I'm going
Yeah.
to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say 3-2 LAFC win.
Okay.
Boom. Check that out. All right, I'm not gonna.
You don't do
We're gonna win,
predictions,
dude, but I'm
right,
not gonna say how much.
Joseph? Okay.
I have every bit of confidence that we're gonna win this match,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna tell the score. I just do believe that somehow 6 to 7 are gonna drop in this game, and it's gonna be one heck of a wild match. Fox will
Mhm.
get their money's worth airing this thing, and MLS will be like, "See, this is why this was on national television," and everybody will be like, "Great, cool,
Yeah.
awesome." One match in. There it is. Ooh, and so I like these. We got some scores. I'll throw them up there. So Victor Lopez gives us a 5 to LAFC. There you go. There you go.
Not
Looks
bad.
like we've got Edgar Corral. He says, I think it's going to be a 4-1 for LAFC. I dig that score. That sounds cool to me. I'll take it if we can get it.
Yeah.
Um, that's it for our scores so far, guys. You want to throw more out there? We'll jump on those later. I didn't want to throw a comment from Brendan right now because I think it is definitely worth it, especially for a man with the experience that he has. There we go. So Brendan from Australia says, I feel sorry for Austin FC fans not being able to make it to the first ever game of your club would suck. This is from a guy that traveled halfway around the world to see us play. He knows the importance of it. I do feel for them as well. This is a rough situation. There is no victory in this for them right now, except that they actually have a team playing on, like, say, Sacramento. So big picture, it's a beautiful thing. Sad
Mhm.
story that they're not going to be there, but our own faithful won't be there for this. That's the real hard part. So, and not anybody is really truly happy about the situation at hand, but this is our reality, and we have to move forward because times will get better. So, I tell you what, Austin, if things do get better, Brendan and I will probably be paying you a visit later this year in Austin. If things get better, let's hope for that, and we can just share a toast to a good match for the round 2. Sound good? Sounds good to me too. All right, so we've got that. Ben, there was a little bit of a Matt versus Will vibe. I know I told you I was going to skip it, but I'm not because I thought it was hilarious. Did you get a chance to read that little bit of madness?
Yeah, I mean, I know they've had some, I read an article saying they have like a war of words going on right now. Maybe a bet. I
Yep.
know that Matt and we're gonna talk before the game, and maybe say a few words. There was somebody even like suggesting a halftime wrestling match between them. That would be crazy.
Well, I guess
Oh
they
my
were both on
goodness.
GQ the same year. Did you hear that? And one was like the funny man of the year, and one was like the man of the year.
Oh my
Uh,
You can
goodness.
only guess what that was. But yeah, so there's an article from Austin, like war words, but when you read it, it's not really war words. It's kind of a tangle. It's funny though, because Matthew McConaughey basically just throws it out there like, yeah, what Will's doing is what we want to do too. And we're looking for the long term, just like LAFC is, and building something special. And it's not a flash in the pan. Again, look in the mirror, you see Austin. It's just the way it is. I just want to go to the tailgates because I already know that the Shiner Bock will be flowing, and I'm all for that. And some killer craft beer at Austin. So good times. Yeah, so Brendan picked the 3-1. Smalls Kenobi 4-2. I like that scoreline. It makes a lot of sense to me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one to me feels the most real. I'll say
Yeah.
that. So there is that. All right, cool. So we talked enough about Austin, right? What about us? What are we going to see for the starting 11? I'll throw it to you, Ben, first. Call your starting 11. Who's going to be out there?
all right. So in goal, I have Cisniega. Left back, Palacios. Center backs, we have Segura, Murillo. Right back, Blackman. In the midfield, Atuesta, Blessing. I want it to be Sifu, but I think it's gonna be K just because it's Bob. And Rossi, Vela, and Baird up top. What about you guys?
I have a question because you actually got to see the games. How did K do in the last match?
He seemed like he was a little bit slower than usual. I don't know if he's just slowly getting back into full game
Like
fitness.
fitness?
Yeah. I saw Sifu. He's already in mid-season form. He's taking shots. He's making the plays. K lost the ball a couple times in the midfield. So. Yeah, if it was me, just based on these two preseason matches, I would go with Sifu. But Kay's been there since day one. Bob likes the way he plays, so it's a toss up for me. But I would say Sifu.
Gotcha.
There it is, Christine. What's your vibe on this?
Pretty close. So I would like Cisniega to start, but I think Bob's gonna go with Vermeer. And I had the same back line as you: Palacios, Segura, Murillo, Blackman. In mid, I think you would be freaking crazy not to go with Sifu over K. Like, Sifu is just so solid. Like, what more can a guy do in the past season? And K having just come back from quarantine and not fully fit, and even if he was, I still would go with Sifu. I think K is a good option, but for me, I think Bob would be crazy not to go with Sifu. Then Atuesta, Blessing, and the same three up top with Baird, Vela, and Rossi. That'll be a fun mix. And I'm gonna do another prediction. I don't think Baird's gonna score. I think he's gonna work very hard, but I do think one of the defenders is gonna score. This is just a random prediction, and I think that defender is gonna be Blackman. So
Ooh,
yeah, if that's true, then maybe hopefully that'll come true.
Oh, I mean, if we want to get out on a limb and play it, I'm going to call it right now. Baird scoring.
Oh man, okay,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I'll throw that bet down. We'll not talk about it, but yeah, my line, my preferred situation, yeah, it would be Cifuentes in the middle over K. For now, I think he needs some more minutes, at least more training sessions in with the boys to really get it. K will eventually take it, and I honestly think it'll develop into K, Cifuentes, and Atuesta. I do. I think that's the real one for me. But for now, it should be Latif and Cifuentes just for form. My thought there. Back line, I think we're in agreement. Top line, dude, Baird to me, I'm telling you guys, I think it's a career year for him.
Yeah.
He could score to double digits. He could. It's potential for him this year because of who he has around him. Vela doesn't mind passing, Rossi doesn't mind passing. And if everybody's overloading on Vela and Rossi and just over defending those guys because they're scared of them, well, who's going to be the open man with the ball? Baird. He's going to basically benefit from everybody's fear of the last 2 Golden Boot winners. And to me, that gives him this danger man vibe that, okay, cool. You take me lighter than the rest. I'm going to burn you because you saw the play, the interchange that we saw between Vela to Baird to Rossi, where Baird puts it through a guy's legs for the assist. Tell me he doesn't have swagger going into this match. He does. There's no question. So to me, if I'm going to be looking for the guy, I think it's Baird's going to be a story in match day 1.
Yeah, and he's only going to get better. I mean, it's only been 2 preseason matches, so as the games go by, their chemistry is just going to improve. So yeah, I think he gets into double digits goals and maybe 5-6 assists during the season.
Yeah, it's got to be a career year for him. How could it, unless he's really not up to the task and he proves that, which I don't think that's the case, guys. How do you not produce that way just by getting the job done? Rodriguez like to hold the ball up. Baird does not. He does not. He's looking for the play in the moment. He's not settling the ball down. That's not his vibe at all. He's gonna be coming at you. He's gonna get the execution. That's his concern, which is naturally what we'd want on the left side, anyways, right? I mean, that's what we're looking for from that position. So, other than that, goalkeeper, of course, I think is player to watch. What do you guys think? It's Sis, right? There's no question.
Yeah, I think it's Pablo.
Okay.
I think it was going to be Vermeer, but I would like Pablo to start.
Yeah, sorry, Kenneth. We love you, man, but we're just not feeling it right now. We're not. So I'm rooting for Pablo too, and I'm rooting for Romero for Open Cup runs. That's where my head's at right now.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Get him in the mix. He's already knows how to play against USL sides, so I'm just thinking future. Let's see. So we talked about lineups, strengths and weaknesses. We all know the strengths, right? Offense. Weakness. We know the weakness. We can beat this dog. Like it can. No, we know. We can move on. There's some interesting stuff that I wanted to throw out to you guys as well, Ben. USL priority players. Now that we have a USL side, what is up with that?
Yeah, so MLS updated their rules and regulations, and in one of them, I'm gonna just read it from the website here. It says, in addition to homegrown players and college protected players, clubs may have priority for up to 3 players from their respective United Soccer League or USL affiliates, which for us is Las Vegas Lights. In order to retain priority on any additional USL affiliate players, such players must be added to an MLS club discovery list and will not count towards the 7 discovery list slots.
Interesting. So outside of having guys under contract playing for them, that means 7 guys on the roster that are not currently under contract with LAFC, we can then take priority or discovery rights on. Am I reading that right, Ben?
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah.
So those signings we talked about last week are technically protected already by us.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a nice development to find out about, right?
Yeah, I think it's a new rule, right? It's a new thing.
It's pretty new, yeah. Yeah, this is a bit of a change. Thank goodness. Works just in time for LAFC.
I know, right?
So yeah, that was pretty cool. Health and safety protocols. There's some minor ones and major ones. COVID protocols still exist about quarantining flights or charter flights for now. The protections are still in place. It hasn't changed there. If anything, you're just doubling down on the situation. The big story this year will be the concussion subs. This will have an impact. Cool thing is everybody gets 5 subs, just like we saw in Champions League, right? 5 subs. That stays on for this season. I love that. But then you might get up to 7 if 2 guys get hurt. Let's hope we never see this situation, but it does exist. If the subs get activated for either side, the other team gets the bonus as well. So this is real. You could see a game. Let's hope we never do, where both sides have 7 substitutes. Again, praying we never see it, but it's there. Beyond that, I know, Christine, something's up with Bleacher Report and MLS, right?
Yes, sir. So Bleacher Report is essentially ramping up their MLS content. So if you follow Bleacher Report, if you download their app, they're going to be investing a lot more into MLS coverage. So more stories, more video content, more analysis, which is good for us because it just means like essentially that they're recognizing people are invested in MLS. MLS successfully sustained itself through the quarantine. And they want to continue to invest in the content, but knowing that there is a viewership and an audience for that. So that's pretty cool. I believe the deal is going to go through 2022. Yeah, so that's the news about that. I follow Bleacher Report myself, so yeah, I think it's worth following. It's informational, it's entertaining.
Yeah, and for a while these guys had control of Champions League matches, so they've got a little bit of background in dealing with football. It's not bad. And 2022, that's cool. We get them for next year as well, so that's not bad. We were going to talk a bit about attendance before I got into. Well, you know what? Let's go for it. Christine, did you want to talk about the protocols going into the stadium? I did get
Sure.
Kid you not, just got an update on the cap number. I was asking. I just got it while we're on the broadcast. So this is what I know for now. And I know everybody's getting these emails, and it really does hurt tonight for a lot of us. And I do feel for everyone. If you're thinking that there was just a bunch of pivots being thrown, throw this my way. I got a ticket because of a role that I'm playing at the game. Guess who didn't get tickets? My wife didn't get one. My kids didn't get one. My mom didn't even get one. It's just me. The rest of everybody else. And we have 2 separate accounts. Nope, didn't happen. So if you're talking about tenure, yeah, I got hit too, guys. Not fun. Not fun at all. But it's real, and it's real for a legit reason. So the cap for this match is about 4,000, a little over 4,000. It could, if they get approval, move up to about 4,900. That's it. Remember, we have 18,500 season tickets. We're all losing. We're all taking a hit this weekend. There's, some get in, some get out. Yeah. So 22,000 people potentially in the stadium and only 4,900. Yeah, we're riding this one. From what I understood, though, that the games do rotate, so everybody gets a shot at least a couple games this season until things open completely up. Now, if you're saying, man, this is horrible, 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 remember the state of California is saying that as of June 15th, they're trying to fully open everything. So maybe this horrible situation is going to be maybe a 2-month painful moment where guys are, we're shifting in and out of these games. But if we play our cards right, we're all back in the house by June.
Yep.
That's real talk, guys. So again, it pains me to see an incomplete 32-52. It pains me to see the way we're in it, but we're here. We have to get through this. We have to battle through. And it's again, hard, but we'll get there for sure. Yeah, check your emails, guys. It's out there. I see some comments. So that is where that's at. Christine, did you get an email? Did you see anything on your end?
I did not, but I know that I've just been hearing what essentially everyone's been hearing today in terms of people receiving the news. But I wanted to briefly go over the safety protocols for people who are going to be able to see the game this Saturday. Sure. So, of course, you got to wear masks. They're still implementing 6 feet social distancing between everybody who's there. And their bathrooms are going to be open. And when you go in the bathrooms, they'll have certain protocols so that people will be able to social distance in the bathroom. There's bags will be allowed, but you need to bring in a 4x6 clutch bag. If you want to bring in something bigger than that, they'll have lockers outside the stadium that you can store your bag in. And food and beverage will be available, but but it's basically by mobile ordering. So you're going to order it and then go pick it up. And there's no cash involved at the stadium. So I think that's the biggest thing. It's you're going to have to use your card. So no cash. And the last thing, actually that's pretty much covers it in just terms of basic COVID protocols, and it's like everything that everyone's used to already. So
Yeah,
they're
and
going to
it's
continue that.
contact free for payments. So like Apple Pay,
Mm-hmm.
they're not dealing with cash. They don't even want to touch your card.
Yeah.
It's got to be contact free.
Mhm.
I know they were flirting with prepay, but I guess the preseason match kind of killed that. So
Mhm.
be ready to use Apple Pay. Parking, there's only 2 sections to park in. If you had parking season tickets, I believe they're going to be honored for this match. So check closely on that. If you don't, then you need to pre-purchase your parking, or else you will not have a parking opportunity, because they're not going to sell them during the game or pre-game. It's not happening same day. So handle your business by Friday, everybody, because the next day things are very, very bare bones. Bathroom protocols, from what I even heard, even in the North End, it's very strict to get into that, and you have to show that you have a North End ticket to even use them. You have to anyway, right? So it's very, again, everything's very restrictive for a reason. If we all who are going play our cards right, then hopefully this thing expands the next match and keeps expanding as the matches go on, and our friends and family will finally be with us together as a proper family, if it all works out. So yeah, pay attention to your email. The protocols are there. If we hear more, we'll throw more out there. Mask wise, we're the real masks. Don't go for the Gators. Those aren't going to help anybody. So be real about that too. So that is the thing. I do know also the HQ will definitely be open on game day, so you can go get your merch. That's an option to you as well. Christmas Tree Lane is definitely closed. You will be ejected from Christmas Tree Lane. Do not try to tailgate. It's not happening this match. In terms of drinks and all that, I also know that you have to be in your assigned location to drink and eat. I know North End faithful, you're like, what assigned location? Guess what? You have an assigned seat for this match. Yes, so wherever your rail number is, check the seat number. That's where you have to be. I know, right? We can't crawl across the rails and go hug our buddies and do all that and throw in the beer showers. No, you don't go on top of anything. You'll get ejected for that. Like, it's legit real, guys. Beer showers, you're guaranteed tossed, right? Don't be the vector, guys. Come on now. And of course, just follow the protocols today so we go back to our freedom that we'll get in the future. Sounds odd, sounds rough for me. You're like, that's such a conformist thing to say. Yeah, I'm conformist because I want my family to go to the game again. I'm conformist because I want to see the 32-52 be what it really is meant to be, right? True, full, everyone involved. I'll do anything to get there at this point. So I know you guys are all in the same boat as well. So let's get there. Let's get there. Anything else to add for protocols, guys? Ben, are you going to be reporting from the match?
So actually, I was one of the lucky ones that got two tickets. So I'm gonna go with my wife as a fan for this one.
You got 2.
I got 2. Yeah, I was lucky.
Check you out. I did not. So there it is. Good for you, man. Again, it's a lottery, guys. So there you are. So you're gonna be in the North End?
No, I'm gonna be in the other side, the opposite end.
Okay. You're gonna be on the South End.
Yeah, South End.
It is. So you're gonna get the views of those brave few that will be able to represent the 32-52 on the day. Yeah. For those that are getting this honor, this odd honor, please definitely sing to the point where you're singing for the ones that can't be there. Everything you got, bring it for this match. We need it. We need it badly because we're undermanned. And yeah, I mean, we have to make up for what's missing to truly be the 32-52. Give it your all. Give it your all and know that there's others on the way. You know, reinforcements are coming. It's just a matter of time. So there is that. We'll end on that note for that conversation. The other thing I want to do is a call out for LAFC Fantasy League. LAFC Fantasy League, it's like $5 to buy into this thing. They're using the MLS Fantasy platform. There's a Discord server that's being used so we can all communicate on this thing. It's becoming this total community, and apparently we have like a battle of the podcast breaking down as well for fantasies. So if you guys haven't done it, check it out. You get some cool swag. Let's see if I can throw some cool swag out here. Like stickers like this, keychains look a lot like that as well for LAFC Fantasy League. These guys are doing it legit, doing it right, doing it real. I made my roster today. I will not tell you my roster today. Gamesmanship is there, but I definitely say jump on, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is, again, nobody's paying me for this. I'm just doing it because I love doing Fantasy League, and I've done it every year, so I'll keep doing it with the LAFC faithful. Fun stuff. Ben, are you down to join?
I'm down, Joseph. I'm down.
Dude, there it is. There it is. Christina, have you ever done Fantasy League?
I'm not sure I can participate in this, but I encourage you guys, Joseph, to win. I'm on Joseph's team. Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Game on. So I've done it a long time. The one thing you guys are going to learn when you do play MLS Fantasy League, it gives you a great chance to actually like familiarize yourself with the rosters from around the league and really kind of figure out the other teams. It's a good way to build knowledge about MLS. I know, right? How boring knowledge. But hey, if you're going to school, what are you doing? No, we're gambling. That's what we're doing, everybody. There it is. So that's it. Join the Fantasy League. Anybody else want to add anything, or is it time to get into listener reactions and questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
There it is. All right. And as I'm throwing the Twitter and Instagram out there so you guys can throw stuff at us later on at Heart of LAFC. Let's do this. So let me get into comments and I'm going to throw some back. So Marvin, 700. Marvin Chavez says it. Yeah. So the secondary market is actually showing up again. And honestly, I'd like to sniper that. And if you're a season ticket holder reselling your tickets, shame on you. You shouldn't have your tickets anymore as far as I'm concerned. I could find a way. That would be a beautiful thing to say bye-bye. Let's give it to somebody more deserving. So Marvin, thanks for calling out these $700 tickets on sale right now. Don't feed that beast, people. Let's see. He also said, 300 plus fees. Antonio, 300 per ticket. That is not staying golden at all. That's rotten. That's some Carson trash right there, guys. Don't go that way. Let's see. Yes, Marvin, I didn't get all the tickets. There you go. Again, I think everybody's gonna be hurting on this, so I feel for sure. Ticket sales, yes. Let me see what else. I know we're running through this because there's a lot of stuff. Check promotions, Vic, he's right. If you got the email, you should. Everybody that's a season ticket holder should probably get the email by this point. Whether it's a yes or a no. So check it. Be careful. Vic says check your promotions or spam. Let me see if we can get into some more football. Brendan, help Brendan find a way to watch the game from Australia. I'm just saying, asking for a brother. Help the man find the game. It's on Fox 11 for all its locals, which is cool, right? National broadcast for a high-scoring game, but I can't believe our brother can't get like Sky down there to have it. It's Fox, right? Sheesh. All right. And then Rasta Gotti says he's crossing his fingers, Seattle right now. Yeah, guys, again, this is a game by game. So we don't know who's going to go game by game. We really don't. So keep that open. Tailgate at Mr. Fries from Rasta Gotti. I love that comment. It's just across the street. I mean, could you imagine that? Odd tailgate situation. I like a shout out. We got a Vamos Sifu from Victor Lopez. Yes, Victor, I agree, sir. We love Sifu. It's all about the Sifu. Right, Christine? You're a huge Sifu fan.
Yeah.
How could you not be? He has all the tools. Yeah. Let's see. Keep going through here. Ooh. What is going on here? Victor Lopez says, I got my tickets for Houston on May 1st. You're going to Houston, sir? Isn't that what that means? What? So there it is. Yeah, I do know there's a large contingent of our people traveling, whether they get tickets or not, with the hopes that they just get in. So brave souls, I commend you for what you're doing. It's going to be a hard ask, I can tell you right now. I have no news on away day tickets because honestly, those clubs don't have it either. Real talk. Then 4-2 predictions. We said that. We'll throw it out there just so we can call these guys out. Smalls Kenobi called a 4-2. Brendan called a 3-1. Danny Boy called a 3-1. He's calling goals by Baird, Rossi, and Vela on the day. Y'all like playing FIFA, don't you? I love it. Love it. I like Mark Hayes' confidence in our back line. Check this guy. Mark says, 3-0, despite our goalie situation, we're keeping a clean sheet. I love your optimism, sir. I hope you are correct. Praying that you're correct. Here's some more optimism from Antonio Hernandez. 2-0. There you go. Moving forward, I think we talked about Edgar in the 4-1, and we had Vic with the wild 5-2. I love the 5-2. I'm good with the 5-2. Those who play fantasy and are throwing up some forwards from LAFC, they're really loving that idea, right? But those who have anybody from the backline area, he's like, no. I get it. Let's see. Yes, so there's conversations about watch parties going on right now. Fartash La Paz, can anybody recommend a safe watch party? So what I've seen so far, I'll throw it out there, is there are a lot of virtual ones out there. I know Pride Republic is hosting a virtual with a mixologist, which is pretty darn cool. Black Army is actually going to be jumping on with them as well. But Pride is definitely the host for that event. Shout out to Pride for bringing us on because it sounds like so much fun. So that is happening. I do know that I think D9 is going to have some scattered across SoCal. That's the one I know for sure. They're shooting at those. So definitely check out what they're doing. Real talk. And then others, yes, we're all. I think everyone's working on it because of the stadium situation. Something's got to develop for watch parties. So keep your eyes peeled in the next 2 days. I guarantee there's going to be more announcements, Fartash. Guarantee that. And if you don't get to a viewing party, come on, our local pubs or our breweries that can do that stuff, the game's going to be there. Yeah, Vic is feeling the pain as well, right? 4 people in the count giving 2. That's real. A lot are just giving 1. So we feel it, man. We feel it. Brendan... boom. Defense. Yeah, again, that's our conversation always with this team, right? Defense. And we gave you the knowledge for Austin, so check back on the breakdown. We gave it pretty good, right? So that is our comments from the day. Anybody else see one? Good. Feels like forever because of COVID from Antonio. That is our comments, unless somebody's added. We have any new ones? Oh yeah, Leon got bounced from the CCL. There you go again. Happy for you guys. Yeah, more talk again about that nasty resale thing. I think it's kind of rough that the resales even exist in our situation. I'm surprised that they're even allowed to exist at this point. But there it is. Just don't feed that beast. Do what you can. If you can get there, don't resell your tickets. If you can't go and you can move a ticket, let's think less about profits and more about community at this point. Get another one of the faithful list. We're going to see a lot of green stripe jerseys in the stadium because those who are going to pay those prices. And do you really want to sell to an Austin fan? Really? Yeah, let's not go there. So that's what we have for comments, guys. Anything else? I'll give you guys a few seconds. Looks like we are quite literally golden. So that's our listener Q&A for now. You know what we do at this point? We talk about final thoughts of the day. So I'm going to throw this one over to Christine to open up the final thought of the day.
For sure. So, I'm seeing all the comments and I know that people are feeling lots of different ways about the whole ticket situation. And I think you're right, Joe. Like, we just have to keep in mind that we're so close. And, I just got my first vaccine dose. I'm going to get the second one pretty soon as well. And look, the league is back. Our players are back and healthy and safe. People, our friends and family are starting to go back to work. Businesses are starting to open up. So we just have to have realistic expectations and let's not lose sight of our connection to the team because even though it may be painful in this process, let's not lose sight and let's not, lose our good memories of what we really do have with our, fellow supporters and with everybody in our community. So just hold on to your butts, guys. Things are going to get better. And I love watching the game wherever I am. So I'm going to be having some brewskis and enjoying the game. And we're going to win. And I call Blackman scoring a goal. And I also call one PK in the game. I don't know for who, but I think there's going to be one PK.
I don't doubt that for a second. I think you're right. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff already, so I think you're on the right track there, Christine. Yeah, dude, I love the predictions. Thank you for that. I'm going to pass this one over to Ben. Final thoughts, sir.
Yeah, so thank you, Joseph, again, having me on the show. Thank you, Christine, for being on, chatting it up, LAFC. Thank you to all our listeners on YouTube, with the comments. We appreciate your support very much. And yeah, just super excited that the MLS season is finally here, just a few days away. Can't wait to see the bank, fully reopen with, fans in there. I know it's only a few this Saturday, but, it's going to get better, like Christine said, and just really hopeful that we get to see the 32-52 in full effect, sooner rather than later. And yeah, just go ahead and support LAFC, whether you're watching, on TV or the stadium or wherever you are. Just support the club and let's get this W on Saturday.
There it is. There it is from Ben, the man. Thank you, Ben, for all of your insight into the preseason. Again, we had a very short preseason, couldn't see much. Ben played eyes and ears for us, even jumping on our social media accounts, the family social media, right? And was giving us these updates these past two matches to really keep us dialed in, Ben, because honestly, we really wouldn't know the dynamics of it without having you there to tell us how it went down. I mean, we can read reports, but dude, critical role that you played in the preseason, man. And we're beyond thankful to have you. And guys, get used to that face, because I guarantee you, I think Ben likes this live stuff, right,
Yeah.
Ben?
You dig it? Yeah, I dig it. I definitely dig it. I'm definitely happy to be back on the pod, and yeah, looking forward to doing more episodes with you and Christine and whoever else is on the show.
The pod family, for sure. Yeah, agreed. Again, thankful, man. Christine, thank you again for jumping on. I know the technical difficulties were absolutely brutal to you today. The Gremlins were making it rough on you, but you made it through. Came through in the second half strong, so very much LAFC-esque, right? Early rough stuff, take over towards the end. So giving us the poetic moment of, yeah, that's how LAFC is, right? There it is. So thank you, Christine, for everything that you've done and that you do for us. Grateful and thankful. So I guess it's my time for my final comments. So I'll just say it like this. We've had one heck of a brutal year leading up to this. I know in light, last year, I think I was watching K-League matches in the middle of the night to get my fix because there was nothing. And now we're at a moment where we're going to see live matches, see something real, see our stadium with people back to life again, not just this old, gray, quiet cavern. It's real. We're back. Those that are going know that not all of us were able to get back, and some will never be able to go back. And you know what I'm talking about with Mo passing. I will say this. Please use Mo's energy, his work, his efforts, his legacy to be your energy this year to remain united under these tough times, to support as much as you possibly can. Do it for Mo. It's all Forza Mo this year, 100%. And from here on out, unity is going to get us through this, guys. So let's do that. You see the world, and that's where we're at. And I think on that note, I'm going to end it that way. Enjoy the match. Show your true colors, and at the end of the day, stay golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.